Well, even though it's 82 degrees right now and I'm sitting here in a sleeveless dress, it is time for me to start preparing for winter. I'm doing my winter preps. Right now, my winter preps is, it entails going through everything and getting rid of things or finishing items, mainly that are in the freezer. I don't stock the freezer up too much in the summer because we get those power outages, and even though the freezer can hold things for a significant amount of time, like several days, I just don't want to chance it. So my freezer's about half empty, and that also gives me an opportunity to see what's going on in there. Right now I have some pureed pumpkin that I made in March. I had some beautiful pumpkins that I finally processed in March, and I had 4 cups left in the freezer. So I took 2 of those cups and made pumpkin spice waffles. I have a recipe where you add either applesauce or pumpkin puree to the waffle mix, and then you make the waffles. And what I do is I divide the waffles up into quarters, throw them in a freezer bag, and when I want some waffles, I have my own freezer waffles. I prefer the waffles with either the applesauce or the pumpkin puree because they fill me up better, and there isn't all that fluff like what you get when you're doing just straight pancakes or waffles, just that white flour fluff. This makes it a little sturdier, sticks to your ribs. So I've been doing that. I still have I think 2 more cups of pumpkin puree in there, so I'm going to be taking that and making muffins out of them because I'm going to an event, and then that will be done. I have 2 more cups of applesauce, and I have a zucchini bread recipe that calls for applesauce, so I'll be defrosting that and making that real quick, and things like that. I have some carrots left that I blanched a few months ago and froze, so I'll be taking those out and making something with those. And just going through, I found a big bag of frozen strawberries, so I've taken them out of the big freezer. They're in the little freezer, and I made a strawberry puree out of some of that, and I'm just stirring it into my yogurt every morning. So that's pretty much the size of things, just going through the freezer, seeing what's in there, seeing what needs to be finished off, finishing it off. When it finally gets low, really low, I'm going to take everything out and defrost and put whatever's left back in, and then decide what to do next. I do have a master list of things that I want to get for the winter. And even though I live near a town and I can get to Costco in about 45 minutes, things like that, after about the middle of October, I do not like going to the big stores. I find them too crowded, too overwhelming, and all the winter cold germs and flu germs flying around in there is just not an experience I like to have. So I have a master list, a pantry list, and there's a little squirrel over there. Sorry, so cute. Anyway, I have a master pantry list of things that I'd like to stock up on, some Costco, some Walmart, some for the freezer, some for the pantry, just so I have like a baseline. I have guests over. I'd like to have enough food in there to prepare something for my guests, or if I go to a potluck. I also do this cookie baking for all my neighbors, so I went through the pantry, made sure I had enough flour and enough mixes, whatever I need to do that for the holidays too. Even though I'm trying to clear things out of the freezer, I'm still adding things to the freezer as food items become available for the garden. I'm starting to generate a fair amount of zucchini, and I'm going to be making zucchini bread, but I also want to freeze some zucchini. I like to chop it up and then put it in 1 cup increments or portions in the freezer. And those are handy if I want to bake with it, or if I want to do a stir fry with it later, or soup. I have it ready to go. I do the same with onions. I chopped up a bunch of onions. Those are in the freezer now. Those were recently chopped up, and I'm going to do the same with carrots. Finish the carrots I already have and then put fresh in. It is so handy to have some basic vegetables and things like that in the freezer, so I just can take them out with a tomato base or a broth base or a potato base, and everything is ready. When stuff has been blanched and put in the freezer or put in the freezer, it's usually softer and quicker to cook. I do have plenty of lentils and beans to add in there, and I have some potatoes. I have a small bag of small potatoes I got from Trader Joe's, but I'm thinking I might get a bigger bag and process some of those for the freezer too. So if I want to cook or bake something, I'm not starting from scratch with raw potatoes. I'm finishing up some grated cheese I had in the freezer and just things like that, just finishing up and taking stock. I was thinking about how I'm going to be handling my winter meals. I do have some canned soup. I always have canned soup just in case, but I think I will be making a lot of crock pot meals, a lot of soup meals, because I can make a batch and then freeze it. I have about 4 or 5 really good recipes that I enjoy, so I'm going to be making those as time goes on, ahead of time, and eating it for 1 or 2 days and then having the rest. I also have started utilizing my bread machine a little bit more. In the summer it's so hard to do the bread machine. I don't bake it in the bread machine. I make the dough in the bread machine, do all the rising, and then I bake it in the oven. So I've started experimenting with some good recipes that I've seen in that gourmet bread machine book that I did a review on, I think a week or 2 ago on Thursday Book 2. And so I'm going to be doing that. I do not make whole loaves, I make mini loaves. So I'm even experimenting with that. I made 3 mini loaves of this cranberry walnut bread, which was delicious. I ate 1 loaf over a couple days. I gave 1 loaf away, and I put 1 loaf in the freezer. So the ones that I ate right away and gave away were delicious, but the one that I put in the freezer, it got soft. I mean, it was delicious, that wasn't the thing, but there's something about fresh baked yeast bread with that crust on top, which is absolutely delicious. So one of the things I'm going to be experimenting with is when the bread machine has done its rise and I'm ready to bake, I'm just going to bake 1 loaf, and I'm going to divide the rest of the dough into 2 pieces, 2 more mini loaves, and freeze them and then defrost them and bake them from that. I think it'll be okay. I have a friend who used to do that. She used to make a bunch of dough, put it in the freezer, and then take some off and then bake bread every morning. So I think I'll do that. I'll have the advantage of doing all the work one time, and then I can make fresh bread whenever I want. So I'm going to be testing that gourmet book, bread machine book, in addition to the wheat bread that I added the cranberries and walnuts too. They had like a cornbread type yeast bread that looked good. They had yeast bread that used freeze-dried vegetables, and I have actually not freeze-dried, dehydrated vegetables, tiny little soup ones. So I'm going to be trying that. They had a couple more that looked good, that looked like they were just good and solid and basic. So I'm going to be giving those a try. Part of getting ready for winter is looking after my plants. Anything that's outdoors is already outdoors. It's going to be fine. It has stood the test of time, and I'm not babying it. I do have plants here, and I have plants in a little greenhouse under the deck that I do have to look out for. So I'll be doing some moving around of plants, of more fragile plants, and keeping those safe over the winter. That's pretty much all I have to do for outdoor winter prep. Indoor winter prep. I don't have a lot of closet space, so all my winter clothes I put in those plastic bags, those vacuum seal bags, and they're all in a pile in the closet. So I'll have to get those out. My jackets are always out, but sweaters and long sleeve t-shirts and things like that, I'll have to get those out. The deal with seasons here is that it's really, really hot for the longest time, and one day it's winter. And suddenly you're running around in an outfit like this and it's freezing. Same thing in the spring. You can get away with wearing some winter clothes, your leggings, your long sleeve tees, your flannel shirts, and suddenly one day you wake up and it's boiling hot and you're totally unprepared. I think I have the whole scenario of sleeping and of staying warm in the house down. I am going to be changing out the door in my bedroom for a door with a window so I can look out. And I also am going to be putting some, whatever that is, weather stripping around it. There's some good weather stripping they put in the cabin across the street. So I'm going to do that. And I think it's going to make a huge difference in how comfortable my bedroom is. Sometimes I can't sleep in there because it's so cold. I usually wash all my blankets in the spring. I take them to the laundromat and then I just put them away, and nobody deals with them or sleeps with them or anything. So they're good to go to take out and put on the bed again because it is going to be cold. I washed my Afghans as well. There are 2 on the sofa that got washed this summer, and the rest are put away in a trunk. One of them is electric, and I'm excited about using that again. Those electric throws are wonderful. And of course my warm socks and slippers and bathrobes, all that sort of stuff. It's a complete 180-degree turn from summer to winter here. My social life, I imagine, is going to slow down a bit because we get a lot of big storms here, and I don't like traveling so much, and it gets dark so early. So what I do is I'll either go someplace else and spend the night and come back in the morning, or just do daytime events, or just stay here. It doesn't completely stop everything. People still come by and I still go and visit, but it's not as active, let's say. Very unpredictable weather, and I think everyone here likes to just hunker down. I don't know at which point my porch chats will end. Be too cold. I am committed to sitting out here on the porch though, as long as I can, and because I really enjoy it. I got my lanterns, I have everything set up. It is a marvelous place to be when it's raining, and I have the clothes for it and everything, and I think I'm going to commit to doing that. I won't be able to do videos because it gets dark really early, but I am thinking I would like to spend more time out here in the winter as well, appropriately dressed. Hats and jackets and goodness knows what. So that's what I'm looking at insofar as the next month, 2 months here, clearing out the house, getting things ready, because whatever's happening in the house when winter starts, that's the way it's going to be. If there's stuff in the house I don't like, which is cluttering things up, or I need to get rid of it, I need to get rid of it now, because after winter starts, I'm stuck with it till the spring. So I'm doing a little bit of that too. So those are my winter preps right now. What I'm thinking of, I'm doing, my lists and getting stuff kind of organized, and doing some cleanup and stuff right now. And I'll probably go a big shop beginning of October and kind of wind down that way. I never used to prep before I moved up here. I was always in a situation where I was either close to stores or a drive away. It was never a big deal. I was working, I could stop places. It just wasn't a thing. But here it is a thing. The weather, the unpredictableness of the weather. There's been times when nobody can go anywhere because the roads are so bad, or we've had power outages, trees have fallen on lines and things like that. So there is a unpredictability about having everything you need whenever you need it. Also, I've gotten sick and been stuck here for a week with the flu or with COVID or something else, and it sure is nice to know that I have everything I need here. I can just open a can of soup, put it on the burner, and have something to eat without being suddenly with the cupboard bare. So that's what I am doing now. That's what I'm doing up here. And I probably, after the experience of living up here, I probably will continue to do this even if I ever move, because I do like that security. So that's what I'm doing here now, all the different areas and all the different things I'm thinking about and planning. And my question to you is, do you do winter prep? How much do you do? Do you do any at all? Do you worry about it? Is everything within reach? Or do you have to organize things to make it so? I'm always interested in hearing what people have to say. I do enjoy watching other people's videos about what they're doing all over the world. It's always kind of interesting, but I'm especially interested in hearing from you. So keep me posted and wish me luck. Another winter is almost upon us. Thank you so much for watching.